We'll now bring you a report on the main contenders in the Anambra state governorship election who were not left out of the process. After vigorous campaign tours, the candidates performed their civic responsibilities at their various polling units.
It's election day in Anambra state, and the over 1 million registered voters in that state have gone to the polls to elect the man who is expected to succeed the outgoing governor, Peter Obi. From available information, over 23 political parties took part in the election, but it appears to be a contest where ABGA, PDP, the Labour Party and the APC flexed their political muscles. For them to exercise their franchise, the candidates of these parties had to go to their wards where they joined other voters. In Aguleri and Nsugbe, candidates of the All Progressive Grand Alliance, Willie Obiano, and that of the People's Democratic Party, Tony Nwoye, passed through the normal screening processes before finally casting their ballots.
My polling booth, things are being done properly. I believe there will be free and fair election here. I will win this election with a landslide.
I would say it is fair enough. No election is 100% perfect. I pray that at the end of the day, the process will continue to be free and fair and the winner will emerge.
It was the turn of the Labour Party candidate Ifayumba, as well as his All Progressives Congress counterpart, Senator Chris Ngige. And like the others, they headed for Inewi and Alon, where they performed their civic duties.
I don't have fear. My people are solidly behind me. You can see my people behind me. My people love me, and I want to help them. I want to come and wipe away their tears.
The people of Anambra, Idemili North, have been disenfranchised, and it's purposefully done. They have 180,000 registered voters, and they are scared.
Having exercised their franchise in their respective wards, these men will turn their attentions to the results of the polls, expected to be released when collation and counting are completed.
Now, it's not yet known the exact cause of the lump or uncontrolled growth and spread of abnormal cells in the breast of some women, which can result in breast cancer, but there are risk factors. Tonight on our Focus on Health, our correspondent Yomi Otaigbe takes a look at some of these risk factors and how to prevent end-stage breast cancer.
There are close to 70 million women in Nigeria, and that's according to the 2006 National Population Census. Of this figure, the International Agency for Research on Cancer, in conjunction with the World Health Organization, estimates that close to 39 out of 100,000 women in Nigeria have breast cancer.
It's unfortunate, but in this part of the world, more than 70% of our patients come in stage 3, stage 4. And a lot of reasons, a lot of factors are responsible. One, patients don't pay attention to themselves, to their bodies, you know. Two, when they notice something, they don't know the implications. So they don't look for a solution. They just say, oh, something is there, I noticed something there, and then they just move on, carry on with their lives. Then three, some people are in denial. Stage 4 is not curable anywhere in the world. Stage 1 is when the tumor is less than 2 cm in the breast. You can't find any axillary nodal involvements, and there's no spread in any other place, any other parts of the body. That's stage 1 as the easiest. Usually with surgery, you can take care of that.
These reasons may be part of the factors that make some women succumb to the disease, as depicted in this movie.
I just couldn't accept it.
Although it's not clear what causes breast cancer, factors associated with the disease include inherited genes, increasing age, family history of breast cancer, obesity, radiation exposure, tobacco smoking, and drinking alcohol, among other factors. Avoiding these risks and being breast aware could go a long way towards cutting the possible tentacles of breast cancer.
To be breast aware means you have to know your breast. You have to know like the mapping
of your breast. You have to know the contours of your breast, the way it feels, the way it looks at any time of the month, because for women we have our menstrual periods, so during those periods your breast changes. There's some slight changes that you feel, okay? So you should know your breast during that period. You need to be able to feel, touch, and personally know that, okay, the state of my breast at this point in time is normal. Okay, and at other times, in case you feel like a lump or painful bite or a swelling somewhere, you know that the state of my breast at this point does not feel normal. It's advisable to take it a step further, because I will tell you that there might be hidden deep down that you would not see with your ordinary eyes, that the ultrasound machine will see or a breast that you see. So I would advise to take it a step further. For mammograms, mammogram, it's not advisable if you're below 40, but for women who have some sort of issues with the breast, then you can go do a mammogram. I mean, for breast cancer, you have to, it's a whole stage. After doing the surgery, there's the chemo, there are the drugs they have to take for as long as they can. So it's really a very difficult disease to tackle, and the right decision is to go and get screened. And if you get there and the doctor says, "Madam, this is the situation," listen to him, do what he has to tell you, what he has told you to do. It will help you to save your life. Live healthy and have a healthy lifestyle. Exercise, do things that, not having a sedentary lifestyle where you just sit in front of the TV and not do anything. No, take walks. Maintain a balanced diet. Okay, more fiber in your meals. High fiber diet have been known to help most people in preventing, especially if you're predisposed to having breast cancer.
For breast cancer, waiting for signs such as changes in skin color or texture of the breast, changes in how the nipples look, or a clear or bloody discharge from the nipple might be too late. So, do your breast self-examination regularly. Get an ultrasound scan of the breast if below 40 years, and a mammogram at least every 2 years from age 40 and above. Yomi Otaibo reporting for Channels Television News.
Scary, you might say, but quite interesting. Now, for complying with the rules and regulations guiding advertising in Nigeria, the Advertising Practitioners Council of Nigeria has honored advert agencies, advertisers, and some media houses. The ASP Advertising Best Practice Award recognized winners in 15 categories. According to the organizers, these companies have through 2012 painstakingly complied with the Code of Advertising Practice and Sales Promotion.
The Advertising Best Practice Awards is a platform where brands and agencies that have professionally managed a relationship with APCON in line with laid down rules and guidelines are rewarded.
Now take the nominees for the automobile, and the nominees are, we have Dana Motors, Hyundai and Toyota.
The return of the award is worth celebrating after its suspension since 2010 by the Advertising Standards Panel because it was not satisfied with the compliance rate that year.
This is the first time we'll be having an award that focuses on ethics. Of what value is success without ethics? Of what value is performance, bottom line, without ethics? When we came in, the level of violation was so high. The level of compliance as of 2010 was -40, precisely 13%.
So of what benefit is the ASP Award?
The benefit of winning the Advertising Best Practice Award, first and foremost, is qualitative. It's something you cannot lobby to get. It's something that when you get it today, you can have it as endorsement of your corporate stationery.
The award night also afforded the Advertising Council of Nigeria the opportunity to read the Riot Act to erring brands and agencies.
Media owners must continue to respond as serious partners in line with the prescribed regulations. Let me also use this opportunity to remind clients and agencies of the need to comply with all APCON laws that have been put in place by government to protect the consumer. It is unprofessional when those who know the right things fail to do them in such a way that suggests that federal regulatory laws can be casually treated.
15 brands and 15 agencies were honored in various categories that cut across telecoms, aviation, financial institutions, and television, among them multiple award-winning channels television. For the organizers, the recognition of excellence has come to stay, as they will continue to identify and reward practitioners who've diligently complied with the Code of Advertising Practice.
Well, congratulations to Channels Television, and let's take a look at the rest of the day's business news. And here's Adishawa George.
Well, thank you, Harriet. Despite the decline in the headline inflation rate, the Monetary Policy Committee is expected to leave the benchmark interest rate at 12% when it meets next week, Monday and Tuesday. Financial Derivatives Company Limited, in its report, says the outcome of next week's MPC meeting would largely be a function of how members react to the need for a continuous coordinated policy actions to back the CBN's currency stability drive. With October headline inflation rate at 7.8%, inflation has maintained a downward year-to-date trend at an average of 8.6%. Now, if this prediction is anything to go by, it will be the 13th consecutive time since 2011 that the central bank is leaving the monetary policy rate at 12%. Meanwhile, the Central Bank of Nigeria plans to issue 99.93 billion naira worth of treasury bills with maturities ranging between 3 months and 1 year at its regular debt auction next week, Wednesday. The Apex Bank says it will sell 20.64 billion naira in 91-day paper and 25 billion naira in 182-day debt and 54.29 billion naira in 1-year paper using the Dutch auction system. The CBN sells treasury bills to control inflation and the volume of liquidity in the system. Now, Nigeria's debt stock stood at 8.32 trillion as at September 30 this year, representing an increase of 10.2% from the December 31st, 2012 figure of 7.55 trillion naira. Data from the Debt Management Office shows that the external debt accounted for 15.5% of the total debt stock at 1.29 trillion naira, while the domestic debt stock accounted for 84.5% of the total debt stock at 7.03 trillion naira. The increase in the contribution of external debt to the stock now shown in the third quarter of 2013 is supposedly due to the benign interest rate environment in the international financial system. Well, that's business news at this hour. The news at 10 continues in a moment.